Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you very much for joining me here. Happy Saturday to you and your family. We're looking at, of course, Binance Coin, BNB, seeing what's going on here with best practice big picture. We're going to look at some quick little fundamentals as well as, of course, the reason why this coin is outperforming the majority of other ones too. From a technical standpoint, it looks very strong. There's a reason why that is the case. We'll look at that and much more. Also, bear in mind too, we took some healthy profits on this coin here recently. So if you take a look at our signals that we sent out, while it did take us 9 days to achieve 8% on spot and 184% on leverage, that's still worth the wait, right? So congratulations to all my community members for having cashed in on that. And if I recall correctly, we take a look here at some trade results, we can see some healthy gains here from Crypto Capo. Well done on that one. 75x for BNB long as well. So again, a lot of great things that kind of come as being a community member. Furthermore too, if you're not using Bitget, I don't know what you're doing with your life. It's a phenomenal exchange. Make sure you use the link in the description below if you want to be eligible for a $10,000 prize pool monthly. There are prize pool benefits for profit and loss ratio as well as trading volume. And generally the top 4 trading volume also get 1,000 apiece. So it's really awesome to be able to kind of get my community members some extra change in this interesting and dynamic trading environment that we're in right now. So, happy to be part of that. Make sure you obviously use that if you want to have just a better experience with your exchange. So here's the thing with BNB. Why don't we take a quick look at some basic fundamentals here, because I think this is also providing a significant benefit. And because when you take a look at BNB, there's a lot of big picture stuff here, and BNB is one of those coins that's actually outperforming larger other coins as well. So in other words, BNB is essentially working stronger than Bitcoin and Ethereum as a better store of value. Okay. So again, I don't need to go into all the details there and what that means. The bottom line is that it's trending positively right now, and that has a lot to do with it. Keep in mind, of course, once that tapers off, the price will pull back perhaps, but I don't think we're going to see that happen in the immediate future. Because in fact, I got a question a couple of days ago, hey, should we short BNB because it's coming up at a resistance? And I urged you not to, of course, because of the fact that it has a lot of strength. Okay, I didn't know about the fundamentals much, but from a technical standpoint, it's definitely looking strong. So let's look at some of that stuff here. Because when I mentioned previously, we were roughly 2 days ago, we were breaking above RSI at 50, and that to me was a very positive thing. We also have a MACD convergence on the daily as well. So those two things together kind of give us that inclination the price is going to probably continue higher. It should likely continue up to 70 on the RSI, potentially to break or to push through the 318 resistance and come up to about 338 as a next potential resistance shelf. Keep in mind, there's a lot of different scenarios that could happen, but if you take a look at this line here, you can see clear as day it was a strong resistance previously until it broke above. FTX, of course, occurred right here, and the price had tanked ever since. But every other coin did the same thing as well. But BNB is one of the first and only coins that's really bouncing back hard right now, minus Dogecoin. But again, that's kind of a whole nother bag of worms, right? So when it comes to BNB, looking very strong on the daily. We look at the simple moving averages too, we're above all 3. I don't think there's any other coin in the industry right now that can even say that. So that's a very, very strong inclination to me as to why we took that trade and the reason why I expected the price to bounce back. We took entry at I think around 270, and our 4th profit target or 5th profit target was I think 310. So we hit that last night. And it's really nice to kind of, to see that happen and obviously make some money for my members. But on the same accord, we want to see if this is going to continue to sustain itself. Because we can kind of see here there is a bit of an overextension. Take a look at TD sequential here. We're at a 7, and we came up to previously to a 9. So while the price action is continuing higher, we want the price to kind of come back down to the 0.5 on Fibonacci around 305 and balance. That'd be ultimately what we're looking for. Are we going to get that? It's hard to say specifically, but we're at a 7 right now. That does imply 7 times 4. We have a lot of multiplication in regard to the price action continuing higher, right? So this is basically a full trading day's worth of volume in the last 24 hours pushing to the upside, okay? So again, very strong in that regard, but on the same accord, we have to hit this point where we need consolidation. The reason why this was able to happen is because we had nice consolidation in this period at that previous resistance. And what you can see here is perfect. You see how the price just ranged itself right in between before it broke above here yesterday in that 0.5 and 0.382 range. This is a natural place for the price to kind of consolidate before it takes off. So again, not only were we above support level on the RSI and the daily, but we also had this nice key level resistances and supports holding the price action in place. Again, we are overextended. You take a look at the 4-hour, the price action is quite high. So in truth, if you were to wait for the RSI to come back down a little bit, that would be a consideration for a new entry. I would like to see the price action continue further down here to 50 on the RSI and kind of stay in that range. So ultimately, I wouldn't expect a tremendous amount more of growth from BNB in the immediate future, but long-term, big picture, I really think BNB is quite strong and has tremendous potential. Okay. So that being said, that's kind of where we're at here for the 4-hour. The 4-hour in all reality is overextended, and I don't think we should expect much more continuation higher because again, this Fibonacci retracement level 0.618, that's a very standard resistance level. That right there at 318 is effectively our resistance level. Okay, so 318 is all good. If the price comes back down to 305, even better. That would be the point in which I'm looking for. So maybe I'll just go ahead and add an alert at 306 in that range there and kind of see what happens when it gets closer and reevaluate. Again, it's good to set alerts so you can kind of take another look at the price where it's at and see kind of roughly what it's looking at. But that would be a strong consideration for a long position based on the overall sentiment. Keep in mind, Bitcoin does drop by 5-10% on Monday. For whatever reason, if that were the case, then we can expect BNB to drop as well. It's not perfect, but it's doing very well, all things considered. So let's see here. Take a look at the 1 hour. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek at the Ichimoku cloud. We still have all green lights here to leave your long position open. There's no reason to close your long for the moment. But again, if the price does come back down here naturally, then the price would be in the cloud, right? Or more so, the lagging span would be intersecting with the price action. And that would be a case in point where we'd want to maybe consider, again, closing your long position or trimming your position at the very least. Take your 60-70% profit if you're in the green, right? Don't get too greedy in this market. We got to kind of take profits when we can. But the bottom line is if we were to come back down and bounce, we'll still remain above the cloud, and that's what I'm hoping for, is a bounce off 305, 306. All right, so that's essentially what we're looking for. As far as overextension is concerned, we do have another one here. So we got a 9 plus overtime, and then we got the little reset. So generally speaking, we are still overextended to the upside. Again, that 24-hour push or 28 hours to the upside is effectively giving us that resistance level at 318. So again, if it were to break 318, which is still possible, I would be on the lookout for the price pulling back a lot harder because it will take a lot of extra volume to get there. And if we take a look at the volume, we can kind of see there's not a tremendous amount in the last 24 to 48 hours. There was, of course, a nice strong push here yesterday, but ever since then it's kind of tapered off a little bit. As the volume comes down, the price should come down as well because there's less buying pressure. All right, so generally speaking, not in bad shape. I think overall, the sentiment here is that the daily looks very strong. I think it's strong likelihood we'll see continuation further up, but it would make sense for it to pull back first. Okay, because again, we're overextended on a shorter time frame. So, whether you want to short to a certain level between now and then is up to you. I would urge caution in shorting, as I mentioned a couple days ago, because BNB is quite strong, good fundamentals, and of course the technical looks great as well. So there's no reason for it to drop. We could very well see a continuation like we've seen here previously to continue higher to retest 360 and or 338. Okay, so I think it's pretty strong likelihood we're going to get there. But for now, I wouldn't expect a tremendous amount more this weekend just based on it being a weekend volume. Another thing to recognize too is Bitcoin dominance is down, so a lot of alts are absorbing that market dominance, and the good alts such as BNB and a handful of others are getting that volume, and that's a positive sign. So to me, when Bitcoin dominance comes down and coins like this go up, there's an obvious correlation in the sense that it's a strong coin and it has more long-term potential. I would say the BNB would be a strong, healthy investment in the future. Just generally speaking, for your HODL portfolio, wouldn't be a terrible thing to hold BNB. Just a thought. All right, so hopefully that helps you get some perspective on things here. But generally speaking, looking all good here. I think more likelihood of a general increase in the near future than a significant decrease. Okay. All right. Well, I hope you learned something here today. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Have a great rest of your day.